we are bringing positive news, but sometimes to show the state of the market, it's required to understand that something failed. And in this case, Coinbase is abandoning the proposal for BVNK acquisition, which used to be up to $2 billion. And it was disclosed basically this week. And there is no information what exactly led to this mutual disagreement. To the reporters, the spokesmen, they highlighted that it's a mutual step that they've taken and the deal is no longer on the table. And Dmitry, what do you think the reasons for that?
I'm not sure about this. It's just speculation. There exists a possibility that something went bad on one of the sides. Possibly something on Coinbase side, possibly on BVNK side. We have no understanding, unfortunately. In a month or two, by sure, we'll have much more clear understanding based on the actions that will be made by one or another company, by the statements, by the release, by the financial situation releases. So we will see what's happening. But usually when such kind of things is happening, it means that something super bad is happening at one side.
So we will see the rings on the water. Right now, we don't know what exactly fall into the river, but the time will tell. And it's pretty interesting to see that it might be one of the cases that the focus on the stable coins and crypto is starting to fall down, because it shows that in this case, it might be shifting. But anyway, let's jump into the fiat world. And the second news is the collaboration. And actually, it's coming from the press release from Klarna. And they announcing that they starting the collaboration with the Sparkasse at Germany. It's quite specific market, especially when we're talking about buy now, pay later the model, because I will give a little bit background. Usually, buy now, pay later is something that is pretty acceptable as a business model in other countries. But in Germany, even all the process with the catalogs, then receiving an item and paying after was existing decades, years ago. And bringing the products which are shifting the German perception and the things how they used to do, it's really hard. But it shows that there is an appetite for that right now. And Sparkasse and Klarna, they join the forces to do so. What is your opinion here?
A specific feeling and attachment to, and this is not a sarcasm, I honestly have a specific attachment to a German fintech market because of my background and my previous experience at Solaris, and this is why for me everything that's happening in Germany is interesting. Sparkassen-Finanzgruppe is a very interesting. It's a mastodon. I can call it even a dinosaur that's on German market. A lot of things, they are not working so well on their side. In one of our future podcast shooting with with what we will release soon, we will discuss with one of our guests about the legacy in financial companies, all financial companies or financial companies' traditional history. And Sparkasse is the same thing here. It's a company with a big legacy, cultural, financial, and technical legacy. In IT, in IT tech, in fintech, technology legacy, it doesn't mean something super good. Sparkasse, I think, made a very good and logical decision. I know that they tried with internal forces to introduce recurring payments, to introduce BNPL, to introduce a lot of technical, new releases, rewriting a lot of things. Seems like they understood it's easier just to join forces with an existing partner on the market, with a company that already proved themselves as a good and reliable partner. Klarna is very logical choice because this is their business model. They're providing payments, BNPL, they're providing recurring payments. Everything in core technology of Klarna is around this business model specifically. Klarna also have some issues, Sparkasse also have some issues. This is why this collaboration can create a very good and powerful synergy, and both companies can just increase the number of payments, increase the number of transactions, increase the financial revenues for both of the companies. And it's an example for a German market, and not only that is easier to build a partnership with a company that already are doing what you need instead of developing something new and compete with that company. So I have only positive opinions about this, and good luck to both of the companies.
That's great to hear. And I think that's one of the cases when we see collaboration between high street banks and fintechs. Because yes, Klarna has a full retail banking license and they operating in the field as a business model. Buy now, pay later, they're shifting into the high street bank revenue streams. But it still, for me, feels like the collaboration between new fintechs and the banks, and it shows that there is a space for doing good for both. So that's really great news, and thank you for giving us all those details.
Klarna basically is moving. I think this is natural path for Klarna to transform from a BNPL company into a more neobanking looking company, a real classical neobanking with some good core banking. And if they will be able to take some from cultural and historical legacy and learn from Sparkasse, I think they can get some good results. By the way, collaboration is the trend on this week. And the third news is another collaboration. Well, it's not the first time when these two companies are collaborating. I mean, they're collaborating all the time. They have to collaborate all the time. Visa and Mastercard agree on settlement over interchange fees and merchant choice to be changed, downgraded, cutted, and so on. So it's absolutely interesting news. Igor, can you provide us much more details about this?
Yeah, interchange fee is like a data source in a fintechs, and that used to be an income source for issuer banks. But what we see right now, a lot of focus on another side, on acquiring. And historically, if you're a merchant and you would like to acquire the funds, you basically have a ticket-all approach. So you cannot slice the things that you really need, just accept the credit cards or just the debit cards. You're always bundled with this specific approach. And actually, Visa and MasterCard open to slice and provide only needed cards for acquiring. And I think it will help the market to be more flexible and better with the charges. Because if you're buying something that you don't need, the fee and the burn down on the cost will be on top of those merchants. And that's a pretty interesting and still existing process, because we need to understand every time when we pay in, I don't know, at the supermarket, actually not the whole amount is coming to the supermarket, because they pay in the part which is kind of the fee for the processing. And this fee is split between acquirer, usually smaller part, like, I don't know, let's assume 100 euros you are spending in the supermarket. And then 20 euro cents are going to acquirer and 30 cents are going to the issuer. And actually the network is leveraging the most. So they basically sitting on top of open loop, closed loop infrastructure. And with the case with the Visa and MasterCard, it's open loop. Anyone can integrate and act on both sides. And they actually benefited because they didn't do the transaction processing itself. They didn't do the card issuing themselves. They just provided the infrastructure. And the numbers, the financial reports, all those two companies showing that they in really good profits, and they settled for the better terms for the acquirers, which will allow maybe to get more transactions with the less fees, which in the end of the day, pretty interesting for the end customer. So in the United States, it's really a big move. And I think we will see some advantages next year about that.
This agreement basically provides and several other changes, not only regarding intercharging. So basically also under this new agreement, merchants that accept one type of Visa card, you know that Visa can have different type of cards, like based on different sales portfolio, different incoming portfolio you have for yourself, for your company, so on. Till today, merchants were in a situation where to accept all Visa cards by bulk, because there was no possibility to divide them into several products. Right now, under this new agreement, merchants can accept one type of Visa card without accepting all of them. The arrangement is super great because, as you said at the beginning, before shooting this video, you said that you think you're taking a lucky ticket, but that lucky ticket has a lot of conditions regarding that you have to take also to onboard cards that are not feasible for you regarding the prices.